come to the right spot because Super Bowl 53 is going to be right back there at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and I am going to give you the predictions for this season as who's going to be in the Super Bowl. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about, okay? Yeah, matter of fact, look. I'm wearing my Green Bay Packer t-shirt because the Packers were in the first two Super Bowls, 1967 and 68, and they won them. The coach was Vince Lombardi. As a matter of fact, they named the Super Bowl trophy after this guy. I mean, that's just great. Now, the first Super Bowl that I covered was Super Bowl 15, 1980 season. I'm covering the Oakland Raiders for the San Francisco Examiner. The Raiders go to the Super Bowl in New Orleans that year, and they play, January 1981, the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, this is what's interesting about that. Paul Zimmerman. You ever hear of Paul Zimmerman? The great Paul Zimmerman, one of the greatest NFL writers of all time for Sports Illustrated. He used to hold this pool every year in the press box, all right? Whoever got closest to the final score wins the kitty, all right? I predicted that the Raiders would win 24-10 over the Eagles. Final score, Oakland 24, Eagles 10. I was a young guy back then. I didn't have any gray hair, so I needed all the money I could get. I got enough money out of that pool to pay the rent in San Francisco for months. Okay, so I kind of know what I'm talking about when it comes to Super Bowl predictions, all right? Right here. I got the list right here. All right, this is real simple, folks. There are 32 teams in the National Football League, including these guys, Green Bay Packers. There are 32 teams in the NFL, all right? Guess what? 16 you don't have to worry about, all right? They're scrolling on the screen right now. You don't have to worry about these teams. They don't have a ghost chance in hell of even sniffing the playoffs. Well, maybe. But they're not going to make the Super Bowl, all right? So forget about it. So that leaves 16. Actually, that leaves not 16. That leaves, say, 9. 9, yeah. Yeah, that leaves 9 because 7 of the 16 left are just teases, all right? We're talking about teams like the San Diego Chargers. All these people talk about, well, San Diego Chargers going to be good this year. Well, the Chargers are nothing but a tease, okay? Just like, what's another team in there? The Dallas Cowboys. Every year, everybody talks about, this is going to be the Dallas Cowboys year. Really? It's not going to happen, folks. It's not going to happen. The Philadelphia Eagles, all right, they won the Super Bowl last year, okay, but their coach, Doug Peterson, can't even handle the media. So how he's going to handle the New York Giants? Not that they're all that great, okay? So that leaves just 9 legitimate teams that could possibly win the Super Bowl out of 32 in the National Football League. You look at the history of the Super Bowl, there's been 52 Super Bowls, all right? And by and large, the team that has a clutch quarterback and a disruptive force in the front 7 on defense, by and large, those are the teams that normally win the Super Bowl. Now, the reason I picked these 9 is because, for the most part, these 9 teams left have that. You got 4 teams in the AFC that fit that category, 5 teams in the NFC that fit that category. Since we're in an NFC town, let's start with the AFC, all right? And let's start at the bottom. Jacksonville. Jacksonville certainly has got the disruptive force because their defense is awesome. It's just unbelievable. But their quarterback is Blake Bortles. Let's move on. Who else? Oh, Houston. The Houston Texans. Right? Houston Texans are pretty good. Okay. You got Deshaun Watson. He's a splendid quarterback. J.J. Watt. Everybody knows what J.J. Watt can do. The only thing about those 2 guys, they're coming off of injuries. So who knows? So we're down to 2 teams. Ever hear of Tom Brady? He coaches, not coaches, he's a quarterback of the New England Patriots. As long as New England has Tom Brady, they've got a chance to go all the way. 5 Super Bowl rings for that guy. It doesn't matter. He can have a bunch of circus animals around him, and they still got a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Right? But they're going to go at least to the AFC Championship game. So the only question is, who's going to play New England in the AFC Championship game? Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have the most underrated, greatest player in the National Football League. Then again, I'm somewhat biased because it's Ben Roethlisberger, who went to Miami of Ohio. I went to Miami of Ohio too. But Ben Roethlisberger, this is his 14th or 15th year in the league. Previous 14 years in the league, he took the Steelers to 10 playoffs, won 2 Super Bowls, 6 Pro Bowls. He is the only guy, Ben Roethlisberger, who has a chance to beat Tom Brady, and he's going to do it. Oh, right here. Right here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium on February 3rd, it's going to be Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers representing the AFC, okay? So now that leaves the NFC. All right, 5 teams in the NFC. Woo! This could be kind of tough. Not really. Because look, you got the LA Rams. Nice little story, all right? Plus, the LA Rams have Sean McVay, who went to Miami of Ohio. I should be picking the Rams. I'm not going to pick them. They're not ready yet. They're not ready. You got the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings, they blew it. Last year, that was their chance. Never in the history of the Super Bowl has a team played the Super Bowl in its host city. Minnesota had a chance last year. You remember that game when they blew it against the New Orleans Saints? I mean, yeah. And now, they upgraded. They upgraded. I forgot about that. Oh, yeah, that's right. They upgraded. They went and spent all that money, millions of dollars on Kirk Cousins. This is the same Kirk Cousins who has a losing record in the National Football League as a starter. This is the same Kirk Cousins who has never won a playoff game. Forget about the Minnesota Vikings. All right. Well, which brings us to the hometown team, the Atlanta Falcons. All right. They were in the Super Bowl 2 years ago until 28-3 happened. But they got a lot of weapons and everything like that. But here's the thing about with them, a lot of maybes, too many maybes. Maybe, they lost Terry Poe, that huge defensive lineman. Maybe they can compensate for that and have a stop the run. No, they haven't shown it yet in the preseason. Okay, maybe Julio Jones and Devontae Freeman, who are injury prone, maybe they'll play the entire year. Doubtful, but maybe Steve Sarkisian can prove that he's not a bust as an offensive coordinator and be as good as Kyle Shanahan was a couple years ago. Maybe, not gonna happen, just like the Falcons are not gonna be in a Super Bowl, all right? So that leaves 2 teams left over there in the NFC. Let's see, you got New Orleans. I better whisper it. The New Orleans Saints. I'm whispering because people around here, they hate New Orleans, okay? But you know what? The New Orleans Saints are gonna be in the NFC Championship game. Well, they are, because disruptive force, they got, but they got Drew Brees. Drew Brees is awesome. The other team that's going to be in the NFC Championship game is going to be the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers, yeah. And the disruptive forces, Clay Matthews is pretty good. But here's my point. All right, they've gotten better, both those teams on defense. I mean, New Orleans has some pretty good drafts the last couple of years. The Green Bay Packers, their coach Mike McCarthy said before the training camp, he said, I'm tired of my defense being the stepchild to the offense. He wants to do something about it, okay? And because of that, because of his confidence, see what I'm wearing, okay? But having said that, in the NFC Championship game, it's going to be a shootout between Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers. It's going to be one of these mammoth marathon scoring affairs. I like Aaron Rodgers in that matchup. And also like the fact that, since I've got this t-shirt on, I gotta pick. So, now we come to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 53, right over there at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, is gonna be the Green Bay Packers against the Pittsburgh Steelers. 2 great fan bases, okay? And this is a rematch of Super Bowl 46 in January of 2011 in Dallas, Texas. I was there. I've covered 30 Super Bowls. I was there for that one, and it was an ice storm. Yeah, it was an ice storm, and guess what? Green Bay knows something about ice storms. The Ice Bowl, 1967, the Green Bay Packers against the Dallas Cowboys. Bart Starr, the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. Jerry Kramer, Bart Starr quarterback sneak, and the Packers win. And guess what? Guess what? February 3rd, 2019, right here, they had an ice storm here also in Atlanta at one of the 2 Super Bowls. So could be icy again. And I know what you're saying. You said there's a roof there. But yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, the Packers are gonna win the Super Bowl. And and if nothing else, remember January 1981, Oakland Raiders against the Philadelphia Eagles, New Orleans, me with black hair, 24-10. I'm just saying.